Today we are going to reveal some of the most valuable and rare coins that many people still have in their homes without knowing their real worth. These coins are not just old, they are extremely rare, and their prices have gone very high in the collector's market. Some of these coins can be worth hundreds, thousands, and even millions of dollars depending on their condition and mint marks. So if you have old coins, you are a very lucky person. In this video, I will tell you full information, history, and exact market value of these coins in dollars. Make sure you watch this video till the end, because one of these coins can change your life. Do not skip any part, because the most expensive coin will be revealed at the end of this video. Let's start and discover these rare and valuable coins right now. The first coin we are starting with today is the 1974 United States of America 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny. A coin that many people still overlook even today without realizing how important it has become in the modern collector market. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the obverse side. The year 1974 represents an important period in U.S. coinage history, as pennies were already being produced in a copper-based composition, making this coin heavier and more desirable compared to later zinc issues. The 1974 1-cent coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a solid feel, rich color, and long-term durability that collectors strongly appreciate. On the obverse of the coin, we see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has symbolized American coinage for over a century. The word liberty appears clearly on the left side, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is displayed prominently above Lincoln's head. The date 1974 is positioned on the right, and directly beneath it is the small but extremely important D mint mark, confirming that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 until 2008 and includes the inscriptions United States of America, 1 cent, and the motto E Pluribus Unum, along with a detailed depiction of the memorial building. In terms of physical specifications, the 1974 D Lincoln cent has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Because of its high copper content, this penny often develops a rich brown or red-brown tone over time, while examples that retain their original bright red color are significantly more valuable. Although millions of these coins were produced, the vast majority entered circulation and were heavily used in everyday transactions, which has made high-grade examples increasingly difficult to locate today. The true value of the 1974 1-cent coin is heavily dependent on condition. In heavily circulated condition, these pennies usually trade for only a few cents above face value. However, once the coin reaches uncirculated condition, the story changes completely. Uncirculated examples can range from several dollars to well over $10, depending on eye appeal, strike quality, and surface preservation. Coins that are graded MS65 red or higher by professional grading services are especially sought after, and in recent years, top-quality specimens have sold for tens or even hundreds of dollars at auction. Another major factor that drives value is strike quality and surface detail. Some 1974 D pennies show weak details in Lincoln's hair or softness in the memorial columns on the reverse. Coins that display strong, sharp details, full original mint luster, and minimal contact marks are far scarcer than most people realize. In addition, error varieties such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or broad strikes can dramatically increase the value of this coin. Certain dramatic errors from the 1974 D issue have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and visual impact. The dollar market for copper pennies has been steadily strengthening as collectors and investors become more aware of the historical and material value of pre-1982 U.S. cents. With rising copper interest, shrinking supplies of high-grade coins, and increasing global collector demand, prices for quality examples have already risen and continue to show long-term growth potential. Many collectors now actively search for red, fully struck 1974 D pennies because they are far harder to find than common circulated examples. What makes the 1974 D. Lincoln cent especially powerful is that it is still commonly found in old collections, jars, and inherited coin boxes, often ignored or misunderstood. This creates an opportunity where knowledge alone can unlock hidden value. A penny that looks ordinary to the untrained eye can become a premium collector coin once its condition, color, and strike are properly evaluated. In today's dollar market, the value of the 1974 D1 cent coin has already increased, and strong examples continue to attract serious attention from collectors who understand that modern copper pennies are no longer as common as they once were. This is exactly why the 1974 D United States 1 cent coin deserves careful attention before being spent or dismissed. While not every penny will be valuable, the right coin in the right condition can deliver a surprising return. The 1974 D. Lincoln penny stands as a clear reminder that even the smallest denomination in American coinage can carry meaningful history, growing demand, and real market value when preserved correctly and understood by those who know what to look for. If you have ever held a simple penny in your hand, you might think of it as just a piece of copper-plated zinc or a forgotten coin from a cash register. But some pennies carry stories and values that far exceed their face value. Today, we are going to explore the 1977 D United States 1 cent coin, a coin minted in Denver with a small D mint mark, and uncover all the details, history, and market insights that make it interesting for collectors and enthusiasts alike. The 1977 penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, a series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, replacing the Indian head cent, and has become one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. This coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, showing Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, Liberty to the left, and the date 1977, followed by the Denver Mint mark D to the right, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. The reverse side, which has not changed since 1959 for the Lincoln Memorial cent, depicts the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, featuring detailed columns and steps and an image of Lincoln himself in the middle of the memorial when examined closely. The inscriptions read, "United States of America" across the top and 1 cent at the bottom, with "E pluribus unum" above the memorial, a phrase meaning "out of many one," reflecting the unity of the nation. The 1977 D. Lincoln cent is primarily made of a copper-plated zinc composition, following the change made in 1982. But before that, pennies were mostly composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gives the coin a rich reddish-brown appearance when new and a darker patina as it ages. The Denver Mint produced a significant number of these coins, approximately over 1 billion, making it one of the more common pennies of the era, yet condition, rarity of certain variations, and collector interest can still make a difference in value. For collectors, the coin's condition is the most important factor, graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state 70, MS 70, with higher grades fetching higher prices. A circulated 1977 D penny in average condition might sell for just a few cents or dollars, but an uncirculated specimen with full red coloration, strong strike, and no blemishes could reach several dollars in the market, sometimes even higher if certified by professional grading companies such as PCGS or NGC. One of the fascinating aspects of the 1977 D penny is the subtle variations that can exist due to minting errors or differences in striking. Some coins might show slight doubling on the date or lettering, known as a double die, and these can significantly increase the coin's desirability and value. Other errors could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, all of which are highly sought after by error collectors. When examining a 1977 D penny, look for details like the sharpness of Lincoln's coat, the clarity of the lettering, and the presence of full details on the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, as these can indicate a coin that has retained more of its original mint quality. Coins with luster, no scratches, and minimal contact marks are the ones most likely to appeal to collectors and drive up in value over time. Market-wise, most circulated 1977 D pennies are valued very modestly, generally in the range of 2 to 10 cents, depending on condition and market demand. Uncirculated examples with full red coloration can be worth 50 cents to a few dollars, while coins that exhibit rare errors or exceptional quality can fetch much higher prices, sometimes reaching tens or even hundreds of dollars in rare cases. It is also important to note that the coin's appeal is not only financial but historical, representing a snapshot of American coinage in the late 1970s, a time when the United States economy was experiencing significant changes, including inflation and the rising cost of copper, which would later impact coin compositions in the early 1980s. For a collector, holding a 1977 D penny is not just about monetary value. It's about connecting with history, understanding the artistry of coin design, and appreciating the production techniques of the U.S. Mint. When building a coin collection that includes the 1977 D penny, it is useful to compare it with pennies from the same year minted in Philadelphia and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins lack a mint mark, while San Francisco coins carry an S, and were mostly intended for collectors, often in proof sets. Comparing these coins allows you to understand differences in minting quality, metal composition, and rarity. For instance, while the Denver coin is common, uncirculated examples of the San Francisco proof penny may have a small premium due to lower mintage and pristine condition. Collectors often seek to assemble a complete set of 1977 pennies from all mints, grading each coin carefully to achieve a high-quality collection that can appreciate over time. It is also valuable to consider market trends and coin auctions when assessing the 1977 D penny. While most sales are low-value transactions between casual collectors or through online marketplaces, special coins, error coins, or coins certified as high-grade can appear in professional auctions for much higher prices. Understanding what buyers are looking for, such as full red color, sharp strike, and no signs of wear, is crucial for anyone planning to sell or trade these coins. Coin enthusiasts often recommend storing pennies properly in albums, flips, or capsules to preserve their condition, as exposure to air, moisture, or handling can quickly reduce a coin's grade and therefore its market value. For serious collectors, the 1977 D penny is a small yet fascinating piece of numismatic history, bridging the gap between everyday currency and collectible art. The story of the Lincoln cent itself adds an emotional layer to collecting. Designed by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's profile was chosen as a tribute to one of America's most revered presidents, symbolizing freedom, perseverance, and national unity. Over the decades, the cent has seen minor design changes, composition changes, and varying mintages, yet it remains a staple in the coin collecting world. Holding a 1977 D penny is a tactile connection to this long-standing tradition, reminding collectors that even the most common coins can carry history, artistry, and potential value. From casual collectors sorting coins from pocket change to seasoned numismatists building advanced collections, the 1977 D Lincoln cent continues to hold interest, not for its rarity alone, but for the story it tells, the craftsmanship it displays, and the market potential it possesses when carefully evaluated. In summary, while the 1977 D United States 1-cent coin is not rare in sheer numbers, it is significant in terms of its historical context, design, and collecting opportunities. The coin's value in the market ranges from a few cents for circulated coins to several dollars for uncirculated specimens, with rare error coins or professionally graded examples commanding higher premiums. For those interested in coin collecting, the 1977 D penny represents a perfect blend of accessibility, history, and potential market growth. Whether you are adding it to a collection, seeking a high-quality example, or simply appreciating its place in American numismatic. The 1978 D United States 1-cent coin, struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the small D mint mark on the obverse beside the date, might appear at first glance to be just another penny, a common coin that changes hands daily. Yet for coin collectors and enthusiasts, this small copper-plated zinc disc carries layers of history, artistry, and potential value that go far beyond its 1-cent face value. And understanding the 1978 D penny requires a look at its origins, design, composition, circulation, variations, and current market considerations. The Lincoln cent series, of which the 1978 D penny is part, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it remains one of the most widely collected and longest-running coin series in American history. bridging over a century of cultural and economic change while maintaining a consistent connection to one of the nation's most revered leaders. On the obverse side, the 1978 D. Penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" above, Liberty to the left, and the date 1978, accompanied by the Denver Mint mark D to the right, signaling its production at the Denver Mint, which is known for striking a large volume of coins each year, and while the 1978 D. Penny was produced in the billions, which makes it a relatively common coin, collectors still pay close attention to its condition, coloring, and potential anomalies that could increase its value, and every detail of Lincoln's bust, from the contours of his cheek to the folds of his coat, can indicate the quality of the strike and the care with which it was minted. The reverse side of the 1978 D. Penny, following the design that has been in place since 1959, features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro, complete with finely detailed columns, steps, and the image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, visible upon close inspection, with the inscriptions "United States of America" along the top, 1 cent along the bottom, and "E Pluribus Unum" just above the memorial, emphasizing the unity of the nation, and this design not only pays homage to Lincoln's legacy but also reflects a level of artistry and precision in minting that collectors admire, and the presence of clear, sharp details on both the obverse and reverse is a strong indicator of an uncirculated coin or one that has seen minimal wear. The 1978 D. Penny is composed primarily of a copper-plated zinc alloy, a composition that preserves the reddish tone and luster of older copper pennies while reducing the amount of copper used, and this gives the coin a warm, rich color when newly minted, with older coins often developing a darker, more muted patina over decades of circulation, a process that can add character but also affects collector value. And for those who are serious about grading and market considerations, the presence of original red color, minimal handling marks, and strong strike details are all key factors in determining its desirability and monetary worth. Though the 1978 D. Penny is common in terms of mintage, with over 1 billion coins produced at the Denver Mint that year, collectors and numismatists often focus on subtle variations and errors that can occur during production, and these anomalies, which might include doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws, can transform an otherwise ordinary penny into a rare collectible worth significantly more than its face value. Examining a 1978 D. Penny under magnification allows one to inspect the intricacies of the letters, numbers, and Lincoln's image for signs of die doubling or anomalies in the metal, and even small differences in spacing, alignment, or striking pressure can be highly prized by coin collectors specializing in error coins. Coins with full details, sharp strikes, and preserved surfaces, sometimes referred to as full red or red uncirculated, are particularly valuable because they demonstrate the coin's original appearance as it left the mint, and collectors are willing to pay premiums for coins that retain that pristine look, especially if they have been certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, which provide authentication and assign a grade that helps buyers and sellers assess market value accurately. Market-wise, a circulated 1978 D. Penny typically has modest value, often trading for just a few cents above face value depending on wear, color, and overall condition, but uncirculated examples with full red coloration and sharp strikes can range from 50 cents to a few dollars, and coins with rare minting errors or exceptionally high professional grades can sell for much higher amounts, sometimes reaching tens or even hundreds of dollars in specialized collector markets or at auction, demonstrating that even a common penny can hold unexpected value under the right circumstances. The appeal of the 1978 D. Penny is not merely financial. It is historical, artistic, and educational, representing a piece of the late 1970s in the United States, a period marked by economic challenges such as inflation and fluctuating commodity prices, which indirectly influenced coin production, metal composition, and minting strategies. The 1982 D. United States 1-cent coin, struck at the Denver Mint and marked with a small D next to the date, represents one of the most interesting years in the history of the Lincoln cent, not only because of its design and mintage, but also due to a major change in the coin's composition that makes 1982 pennies particularly intriguing for collectors, numismatists, and anyone interested in the subtle stories hidden in everyday currency. And understanding this coin requires a deep dive into its history, production, design, variations, collecting potential, and market considerations. The Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, has been the longest-running coin series in United States history, and the 1982 penny marks a pivotal year in that series, bridging the era of mostly copper coins with the modern copper-plated zinc composition that continues today. The obverse side of the coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner, with "In God We Trust" inscribed above his head, Liberty to the left, and the date 1982, with the D Mint mark to the right, signaling its origin at the Denver Mint, one of the two major mints producing pennies for circulation in large quantities. Lincoln's bust shows the fine details of his cheekbones, beard, and coat, and the quality of the strike, the preservation of the original luster, and the clarity of the inscriptions all contribute to determining the coin's grade and its appeal to collectors. The reverse side of the 1982 D penny follows the Lincoln Memorial design by Frank Gasparo, which has been used since 1959, featuring the full memorial with columns, steps, and a visible statue of Lincoln inside when examined closely, with the inscriptions United States of America along the top, 1 cent along the bottom, and E Pluribus Unum just above the memorial, symbolizing the unity of the nation and the enduring legacy of Lincoln. What makes the 1982 D penny particularly noteworthy is that it was produced during the year the United States Mint transitioned from the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc composition to a new 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper composition, resulting in copper-plated zinc pennies that look almost identical to the older coins but weigh less and are more prone to corrosion if not stored properly. And for collectors, distinguishing between the copper and zinc versions of the 1982 D penny can be an important step in assessing value, rarity, and market potential. Millions of 1982 D pennies were produced, making them common in circulation, yet their dual composition creates subtle differences in weight, color, and overall appearance, and collectors often weigh coins or use other methods to determine the type, as the copper versions tend to be slightly heavier and the zinc versions lighter, which can influence collector interest and market value. Condition remains critical for determining value, with coins graded from poor to mint state 70 by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, and uncirculated coins with full red luster, no blemishes, and strong strikes can command significantly higher premiums than worn or circulated examples. Beyond standard coins, 1982 D pennies are known for a variety of minting errors and anomalies that add another layer of intrigue and value, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks, all of which can make a common penny highly collectible. And rare error coins from this year often sell for considerably more than standard uncirculated specimens, sometimes reaching tens, hundreds, or even thousands of dollars depending on severity, uniqueness, and collector demand. The market for 1982 D pennies ranges widely depending on condition, type, and rarity. Circulated coins with normal were often trade for just a few cents to $1, reflecting their abundance and everyday use, while uncirculated coins, especially those with the original red luster, can range from a few dollars to over $10 in some cases, with certified high-grade examples selling for higher amounts in auctions or private sales. And error coins or rare varieties can command premiums that far exceed typical market expectations. Collectors appreciate this year not only for the potential financial value, but also for the historical significance, as it reflects a moment when rising copper prices and economic considerations prompted the mint to innovate with the new copper-plated zinc composition, a change that would shape the future of penny production for decades. Examining a 1982 D penny closely can reveal subtle details that distinguish copper coins from zinc coins, including slight differences in color, density, and sound when dropped lightly on a surface, and learning to identify these differences can be a rewarding experience for both novice and experienced collectors. Comparing the 1982 D penny with other 1982 pennies minted in Philadelphia and San Francisco can also provide insight into minting differences and market dynamics. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while San Francisco coins, marked with an S, were produced mostly for collectors in proof and uncirculated sets and tend to exhibit higher quality strikes, sharper details, and pristine surfaces. Collectors who aim to build a complete 1982 penny set often seek coins from all three mints, paying attention to type, copper versus zinc, strike quality, and overall preservation, creating a collection that showcases the full range of that year's coin production and provides opportunities for appreciation over time. Proper storage is essential, using coin albums, flips, or capsules to protect the coins from moisture, air, and handling, as these factors can accelerate wear or tarnishing and diminish both grade and market value. And those who handle coins frequently are advised to wear gloves or touch coins only by the edges to prevent oils and scratches from reducing their appeal. The Lincoln Cent series itself adds a deeper level of meaning to collecting, and the 1982 D penny is a continuation of a tradition that honors President Lincoln, reflecting values of leadership,